welcome to the MCCT's Actor Profiles, where we discuss our upcoming plays and interview the people involved. I'm Kenny Hertling. Today, we have Bailey Noel joining us. Bailey is the director of the upcoming comedy Check Please by Jonathan Rand. Check Please follows a series of blind dates that you would think couldn't get any worse, but then they do. It would be performed online Saturday, May 29th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, May 30th at 7 p.m. You can get tickets at www.mcct.org. And now, here's our director, Bailey Noel. Bailey, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Gladly. We would like for our audience to get to know you just a little bit better through this. I'm sure directing over Zoom has been a unique experience, and you've probably developed a keen eye for details. How's my lighting? Am I framed right? Yep. Just kidding. Now, we want to give you a break from all the directing and hear about your experience. So the first question that we have for you today is that in the age of COVID and social distancing, what has been the hardest part of this production and doing theater in general?
Yeah, well, for me, one of the big hurdles that we've had is, in a normal production, you have everybody come to the theater and everyone's in one place, and you can communicate with people. Here is all the information you guys need to know. Doing things through, this virtual setting, communication's been a lot different. And I have my producer, Laura, to thank for that. She's really helped me a lot. That communication and emails and stuff like that has been a very different thing to get used to. And then on top of that, directing the actors without being able to see their entire space. So, do you have a lamp? Do you have, are you against a wall? Trying to get that full picture without having the full picture sometimes.
Oh yeah, I can't even imagine what it's like just to try to figure out what their acting space really is.
Right?
Well, thinking about that in general of acting spaces and what you're working with now, how did you get involved with MCCT?
Yeah, my producer, Laura DeBrunner, she and I worked together right before COVID on a 1920s cabaret type show. We sang all that jazz together and did stuff with that. So she's the one who reached out to me to direct it, and she had everything ready. And this is my first thing I've ever done at MCCT, and I'm loving it.
Awesome. Well, that's really good to hear. So speaking of first things you've ever done, when did you first want to get involved in theater?
That one's hard to say because I feel like I've always loved it. I will say that film was my first love. I went to Ball State University for video production, and I wanted to direct films. And I minored in theater, so stuff like Supernatural and watching commentaries to movies and stuff like that, just as a kid, have always made me interested in it.
Okay. So what was your first experience that really made you love just the art of storytelling? We'll broaden it from theater and all this stuff. So yeah, tell us about that. What made you fall in love with that?
Yeah, I had, at Ball State, I had two acting instructors. It was Veronica Santoyo and Roger Smith, and they really helped me, go through all these acting exercises. And there's something amazing about kind of exploring emotions and storytelling and exploring elements of, I guess, human experience that we don't always have that place to do in our day-to-day life. So it just was this beautiful thing where we have a space, a physical space to make art. I think those acting classes was where I felt that.
And speaking of inspiration, is there any advice that you would give to aspiring directors?
Say yes to every opportunity that you can and do the scary thing. I would say attempt the scary thing every time, because I think everyone has that little voice in the back of their head, that like imposter syndrome type of, oh, maybe you're not ready for this, or, whatever negative thoughts you might have about this big project that you want to take on. But the best way to get better at anything is to just do it. And so either say yes to opportunities or make your own opportunity, write a story and go direct it.
Fantastic. So thinking about like creating your own opportunities for you, what are your top 3 dream shows or dream roles that you'd like to fill?
Oh yeah. Well, that's a good one. Number one would be Mrs. Lovett from Sweeney Todd. I love her, and I've always wanted to play that character. And then Megara from Hercules, when I was a kid, taught me how to be sassy, and I have to. That would be amazing if I could do that. And then anything like an evil, mischievous clown, like Pennywise type character. I love clowns, so I would love to do one.
Okay, good to know. I'll be on the lookout for clown roles and I'll let you
Great.
know.
Thank you.
So, why do you think this story is relevant to today's audiences, and what do you hope the audiences take away from the show?
Well, I think we've all had those moments where we have a dating disaster. And I especially feel for my people who are out there trying to date during a pandemic. Um, so it's always hard and it's a gamble to get to know a stranger. You know, you could be someone you click with, or it could be this horrible disaster story. Um, so I guess that just makes it super relevant to me. And I think most people have those stories that it's fun to laugh at.
Interesting. And I imagine right now Zoom dates might also be a little bit more popular than they used to be. So people might actually be able to see that in what they're experiencing there. Awesome. Well, why should audiences come to see Check Please?
Well, one of the reasons is that it's a really fun show, and I think everybody would enjoy it. And on top of that, you know, trying to put out shows like Check Please, and recently we did The Importance of Being Earnest in a Pandemic. You know, our theater is really, like MCCT is really trying to still put theater out into the community. And it's important to support that. And, you know, with it being a little difficult and different to try to raise funds to put on these shows, we would really appreciate any support in buying those tickets and continuing to help us put, you know, shows and stories out there for our community.
You know, Bailey, that's a great next piece. Why don't you tell them how they can come see the show and support MCCT?
Of course. The show is on May 29th and May 30th at 7 p.m. both days, and you can get tickets at www.mcct.org.
Awesome. Well, Bailey, thank you so much for being with us today, and we hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you, everyone, for coming to watch this actor profile and getting to know Bailey just a little bit better. Hope to see you at the show.
Right.